Hello everybody, I wanted to share a practice technique I've used for many years, both in my studies and professionally for learning fast passage work. Fast passage work could be anything from a flourish to an entire page of 16th notes, but you're having trouble getting your left hand up to tempo. This is a step-by-step process that will guide your practice with thorough methods to iron out any kinks you may be having, even with the right hand not coordinating with the left hand. So the first important step of this process is to identify a small group to start with. Even if it is a single passage, break it down into small, digestible parts. This is especially true if it is an entire page of 16th notes. You cannot learn that all at once. Okay? So all we're going to do at the very beginning is we're going to simplify this passage. So if it has slurs, you take them out. If it doesn't have any slurs, don't worry about it. Just play it separate bows for now. So we're going to take it very slow at first. If my passage were, I would want to start. This is the step where most students fail. They do not realize how slow you must go. If you go too fast on this first step, that is like a child trying to run before they can walk. And we all know how that ends for the child. So now that we've simplified it, it's all separate bows. We can change it in two ways. We can reverse the bowing, so if you start down bow, play it also on an up bow, or vice versa. The second thing we can do that applies to the steps is we add accents to the subdivisions. So if these were 16th notes, I would take turns accenting each note of the 16th note group. So I can start with the first one. And then I can start with the second one. And so on. If we're triplets, I would do it in the group of 3, 2. Now, as you get to the end of this step, you cannot move on if you are not fully comfortable with it. You should have the passage or group that you're doing memorized by now. To move on to step 2, all steps or processes from step 1 can be applied to step 2. Except maybe the accents if you're feeling comfortable with the passage already. So step 2 is adding slurs. These are not the slurs that are written in the passage. We're beginning to group the notes together ourselves. So I can start by doing 2-note slurs. And the act of doing that takes what I've played and connects them in my brain in groups of 2. Then I can do them in groups of 3. Or groups of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, however many you want to do. And also you can take step 1 where you reverse the bowing for each one. Okay? Now we get to step 3, which is adding rhythm to it. And this final step is really truly what speeds the passage up because we're adding unequal rhythm. You can think of it as long and short notes. And the short notes will be half the duration of the long notes. So by the end of this step 3, we shall effectively have doubled the speed of what we were practicing. So the most simple one is to start with pairs, long and short. Okay? And then you reverse that, short, long. Okay? And then you could do all the steps from the previous ones. I could reverse the bowing, and I could add slurs, 2, 3, 4-note slurs. Then I move on to grouping into a larger bit of long and short. So if this were 16th notes, I would do long, long, short, short first. Okay? And then I reverse them. And then reverse the bowing. Or add slurs. So all these build up into a cumulative knowledge that is thorough and thoughtful for learning the passage. If you were in 6/8, of course you would group it in 3. You would do short, long, long, or long, short, short. Okay? And after you've finished all of this process and you're feeling comfortable, then you turn them all into shorts. And I've now gotten the passage up to the tempo that I desire. Now, if doubling it was too fast for you, you should have started slower. And then maybe tomorrow you start your slow tempo faster. right? Not all of this is not a magic cure, and this is only one way of approaching passage work. It is not going to cure everything, but it focuses the mind and keeps us on target with what we want to achieve. Okay? So I hope this helps you, and happy practicing.